a buffer. So Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. You could say individually they're doing their different things as whatever constellation they're hosting, but the conjunction means it's a fusion energy. So that fusion energy has a unique amplification multiplication effect of the qualities they resemble, and the qualities they resemble they more or less merge, and they could more or less have some type of offset of energy, right? So if there's a conjunction that, just for example, that's a water sign and a fire sign, then those elements they could be kind of like topsy turvy, right? Water and fire, that could create some type of you know um canceling out effect, right? So in a other mini post, I wrote what it meant for Neptune to be in Aries, but for this quick video, I'm going to explain what it means for Saturn to be in Aries. So when Saturn is in Aries, the sun and the earth, us, the humans being on that vicinity, the sun and the earth hosting the constellations that it's in, we're on the earth, so we feel the effects of the seasonal transitions more so on the surface level matrix of the sun and the earth, because the human beings are on the sun and the earth. But the quote unquote outer planets or the mid planets, they're having a different quote unquote adverse effect when they're traveling through the seasonal transitional loophole hyperfusion gate of space. So I think Saturn in Aries is conjunct Neptune. It's kind of saying like even the monsters will be subdued to a system, right? It's uh it's like even like we all still got to pay our way, right? We all still got to see some type of background system in the results are what the results will be, and nothing is necessarily given to you. You got to like kind of earn it, or kind of sign up for the said kind of quote unquote competition, and whatever the results say from the adverse competition, then you kind of like you will reap based on what the results are saying. And if the results are taking some type of stalling effect or non-stalling effect, it's because we haven't aligned ourselves with the results of what Saturn and Aries is saying, because Saturn and Aries is saying even the monsters are subdued to a system, right? Even the monsters, it's like in the jungle, right? I'm thinking of the jungle, right? When there's kind of like beast versus beast, right? The monsters or the animal consciousness somehow, some type of inanimate energy of consciousness, new soul energy, is taking form in an animal body, right? So there's some type of new soul that's in an animal body, because the path of the soul, it's kind of complex, because you could either start from some type of bottom aspect or some type of top aspect, because the soul is complex, that not everyone was born into like quote unquote higher consciousness respectively, although we could work towards that, right? Some people, the soul has splashed itself over and divided itself upon division, where new soul energy is finding itself reanimated into animal consciousness. And animal versus animal, that kind of, that's like a whole different karmic dynamic, right? That karmic dynamic meaning that the karmic dynamic meaning, it's like there's just like some type of like animalistic gameplay that's going on, right? There's like some type of like there's some type of animalistic gameplay of like quote unquote like kill or be killed within the metaphor of it, or within, whatever non-human verbatim reality that's happening in, right? Meaning the humans don't live the same laws as the animals do, and the animals don't live the same laws as the humans do, right? We're do like the humans are more quote unquote civil, even though the humans have some type of leaning inkling towards an animal mentality, right? So when I'm saying quote unquote kill or be killed, that's some type of like that's a metaphor for like seeing it's just a metaphor for like Saturn and Aries is just kind of saying it's saying that the monster has karma to work out. So a higher being, a higher angel could fall to a demon, right? And a demon could fall to an animal. So within fucking around with the matrix, not good, not bad, and picking your own wars and battles, and those wars and battles could either increase or decrease you however it way, then that has an energetic karma where somehow within the soul transition, not necessarily the human material transition of like you're just a human, you're getting more money, you're getting more pocket change within just this physical life. No, behind that is the soul reality, and the soul reality is saying like you could incarnate into an animal next life, right? So you could be an animal next life, and within being an animal next life, what does that mean? It means somehow the fleshly physical body could have somehow gained some type of unique karma where now it has to be an animal the next life, right? So I'm not saying directly this is going to happen for anybody particularly. I'm just saying it's a possibility where you could be an animal next life based on monster karma, right? So Saturn conjunct Neptune and Aries, it's saying Neptune is bringing like embodying your raw quote unquote demonic self, mind the context. So Neptune is like embodying that raw quote unquote demon self, mind the context, right? Because when I say demon, you can't just think of it as one way. There's a not good not bad way to look at as the daemon body, the diamond body before it was blemished, right? So there's good demons, right? Right? Good demons and bad angels type of shit that fucking get each other's backs or war for whatever reason, right? So there's good demons and bad angels, right? There's bad angles. Angels are just angles, fallen angels, lower angles, lower octave angles, fallen angels, good demons, exalted diamond body, exalted fleshly beings, the fleshly being the demon, not good, not bad, the fleshly being the diamond, right? Demon is not a good or bad thing. It's how you're using the conscious vehicle vessel, right? So I just cleared up the confusion with the word demon swiftly right here, right? So so Neptune in Aries is like it's embodying your physical self, right? New it from where you used to be, from the raw self of however you've been traveling lifetimes through lifetimes through lifetimes, right? So Neptune is in Aries is embodying and finding some type of sovereigntyhood within your physical self. You forgot your soul self. You're more or less remembering your soul self. There's challenges of and different obstacles and roadblocks on how you could remember your soul self or forget your soul self, whatever those challenges may be, and however you choose to balance that or not balance that, that's up to you. And whatever comes after is just like it's just a perk. It's a byproduct, right? To like based on you balancing the harsh Saturn karmas, right? Which is not necessarily to be like kind of toxically competed over, right? Because you're just doing you. You're just on your own train, right? So so Saturn in Aries conjunct Neptune, it means somehow even the monsters are subdued to the matrix system, right? The monsters are subdued to the matrix system. We all not in a soulful perspective, there's some type of energetic karma. I don't want to be a broken record of saying karma, 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 right? Like, oh, you got karma to pay. I'm not trying to put it like that, right? I'm not trying to be a broken record of like you're gonna pay this fucking karma. No, I'm saying there's an energetic cause and effect that we're reaping, and we forgot what how we caused our karma energetically, right? I'm not saying like you're gonna pay your karma, even though like us, I'll share a song and there's a song that's saying you're gonna pay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying Saturn conjunct Neptune is like we all have to like, we all have some type of animal kingdom mentality, and within that animal kingdom mentality, based on our animal resonance, we're choosing our own animal kind of like battles. And within those animal battles, that's a unique cause and effect karma of how you're choosing yourself to go wherever you go mentally or physically, for how you're choosing yourself to go in some type of jungle of consciousness or jungle of the matrix or jungle in the mind, right? So Saturn conjunct Neptune and Aries, it's like monsters are subdued by the matrix system. We all have our own unique karma to pay respectively. Not, and I'm not trying to like hoggle, I'm not trying to hoggle anybody. And then we're all gonna like we all gotta work towards, our our spiritual status, more or less, right? Because Aries is kind of like exalted spirit, right? So we and if if we don't want to work towards that spirit self, it's like Saturn kind of forces that anyways. Like it's forced to show you like how you've been ignoring that, and how you're ignoring that on a metaphysical level. It could cause a unique root cause to some type of ailment, symptom, sickness, right? Because the predecessors already know like what causes the sickness in the body. The Chinese doctors know within their advanced acupuncture what causes pain or sickness or illness on a spiritual, on an energy level, right? Montauk. And I've known about this for a while. So this was just a swift one. I'm calling this video Saturn and Aries. So it's like if Neptune was just an Aries without Saturn, I think I think it would be more like more coasty, right? But Saturn conjunct Neptune, it's kind of like it's like you're gonna go where you're gonna go, right? By some hand in the background, one segment of many different fates, some type of hand is going to put you where you're going to go, and you're not even going to know why you're being guided where you're going to go, because the different fates, they work together and they work separately, and how they war, that's up to our confusion to non-confusion to work out, right? So it's like, Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, it's like you're going to go where you're going to go, and you're gonna like you're not even gonna know why you're doing the work. You're not even gonna know why, um where your work is really going towards, right? I think it's going towards like it's gonna serve that kind of like it's just gonna serve, the raw self, the ancient raw self, the Neptune, and that system is gonna like kind of just ground us down. And I'm not making any predictions. I'm just saying like everybody's karma is case by case, and I'm not disregarding anybody's harsh case profile, right? Because within the reality, there's some type of harshness, right? I'm not disregarding that. I'm just saying it for what it is. And I'm just thanking the balanced fates for us to lean towards some type of good karma that there is, right? So that's it for this one. This one was Saturn and Aries. Thank you, and I'll come back as always.